The great thing about streamer fishing, it's great for beginners because it doesn't matter really about presentation or technique. You can just chuck this out there and fish are gonna come up and slam it. So there's really a lot less finesse when it comes to fishing streamers. I mean, a whole lot less finesse. Just chuck it out there, pretend like you're the streamer, right? Pretend like, oh my God, I'm a little fish and I don't wanna get eaten by these big giant brown trout, and fish it that way. Do a lot of variations with your retrieve, but there isn't anything super technical when it comes to streamer fishing, and that's really the overall enjoyment of it, is that you don't need to have that perfect drift. You don't have to perfectly mend your line. You don't have to worry about anything. That doesn't matter when it comes to streamers.
Thank you. Go somewhere else. Oh, nice fish. This is a big fish too. Gotcha. Nice.
So let's talk about fly rods. You want to have at least a 5, 6, or a 7 weight. So why am I fishing a 3 weight? Because I'm nuts. Because I really just enjoy this particular 3 weight from fishonrods.com, and I designed this thing to be able to throw these big streamers. But ideally, the minimum size fly rod you want to have is a 5 weight, 6 weight can be great, or a 7 weight when you're starting to chuck these really big streamers. You just need a little extra rod to be able to get these streamers out there without either stacking it in front of you or hitting yourself in the head because you just can't generate enough line speed with these lighter rods. So there's another big mistake that a lot of people make when they first start getting into streamer fishing, and that right here is the size of the leader. You want nothing lighter than a 3X leader. I have 2X on this particular fly rod. You can go 1X or even 0X. If fish are slamming streamers, they are not gonna be leader shy. So don't be afraid to really kind of level up your leader, because if you don't, you're either gonna break it off on your back cast, which will sometimes still happen with super heavy streamers on 3X, or you're gonna get that massive tug from that trophy fish and you're gonna lose it because it breaks like tippet.
There we go. Nice. It's a good fish too. Nice. Wow. That thing. That is a large brown trout.
I like fishing 9-foot leaders. Typically you can go either 7.5-foot tapered leaders or 9-foot leaders when you're fishing streamers. Now you can see this stream. It's a relatively large stream. I don't use a sink tip. In fact, I rarely use a sink tip unless I'm fishing a really deep lake or a super big, fast, deep river. I am using floating line. I just use a weighted streamer and sometimes add a little length to the tapered leader to get down where I think the fish might be. So 90% of the time you can use floating line, and I use something from Cortland. It's the Trout Finesse 2. It's a great all-purpose fly line for throwing really anything, including streamers, but they do have specific streamer line. And really the biggest difference is they just have a stronger, thicker shooting head to help you get those really big flies out there. But this all-purpose fly line from Cortland really does to do the trick for me for really any size streamer that I'm throwing. Do the reels matter? Not really. I fish this Ross Colorado Click and Paw, and I also have several reels from both Lamson, Cortland, and what else do I have? I'm trying to think of all the reels that I have, and Batten Kills that have a disc drag. Sometimes it's nice to be able to kind of crank down the disc, you know, the drag if you really got a big fish on, but really any type of fly reel is going to be great for streamer fishing. You don't have to worry about anything, right? You've heard a lot probably if you've done a lot of YouTubing on fly fishing is getting a drag-free drift. That doesn't matter when it comes to streamers. In fact, I cast this thing upstream, I cast it across, down, I strip it fast, I strip it slow. Sometimes I'll let it sink. Sometimes I hardly put any action on it at all. Sometimes I even put an indicator on it if I just want to dead drift the streamer down. But it's a lot less technical, so it's just easier to fish. So let's demonstrate here. So I'm just gonna chuck this streamer out, and for demonstration purposes, I'm not using a Sculptzilla, which if you've been watching my videos a lot, it's one of my favorite flies from Red's Flies, the Sculptzilla, but I'm using a sparkle minnow just because I've had a lot of luck here with it. So let's give it a try here and see if something will come up and eat it. And I'll show you just how easy it is. Right now I'm gonna try a few casts just across the stream. Up close, just in case there's a fish nearby. There we go, nice. Well, that worked. Now typically, I like to try to get them on the reel if I can, but I don't want to throw any slack to the fish. So I got pretty tight here, so I'm going to try to get him on the reel. Oop, there he goes. Hopefully he'll help me out a little bit. Nice brownie. All right, now we can let the reel do the work. Net somewhere. All right, so really, it's just that simple. See there wasn't a lot of finesse involved. And this nice 17-inch brown ate the fly. Simple as that. So when it comes to fishing streamers, right, again, as we said, not very technical. I tried a few casts upstream, then I tried one across the stream, kind of let it sink, varied up my retrieve, and that guy came up and slammed it, right? So then I'm gonna try to kind of copy that retrieve until they get bored with it and try something different. So there's one thing I want to emphasize when streamer fishing. You're not doing anything wrong if you're missing it, right? One of the things you want to do is you want to strip set it. I don't know if you saw that there, but as soon as that trout hit it, I strip set. You don't want a trout set, which is lifting your rod, because that has a tendency to pull the streamer out of its mouth. Strip set it until you really feel it pulling back and then get it on the rod. So that's one way to really increase your hookup percentage, but typically you're going to miss 60% of all hookups when it comes to streamer fishing. That's just part of the game. You're not doing anything wrong. You're gonna miss it. A lot of times these fish will come up and just freight train your fly. They're hitting it from the side, they're ambushing it, and a lot of times they just don't hook up, right? That's normal when streamer fishing, so you're not doing anything wrong. So anyway, so I hope that helps you get out there and try streamers. It is so much fun. And hey, if you want to learn a little bit more about this fly rod and why I can cast one of these streamers with my 3-weight that I designed, check out this video right here, or check out my website at fishonrods.com and see if this might be right for you. It's a great rod, easy casting, just a lot of good big fish karma. All right, everybody, till the next time, fish on.